Hello whiskey lovers and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings. I'm walking here along the Gelamco Arena, which is the stadium for my local football club, Caol Gent. Now, the players, they have a nickname. They call Caol Gent the Buffaloes. And so my friends Jeroen and Bart, they took it upon themselves to release a collection of whiskies for Caol Gent called Smoking Buffalo. So you can imagine it's going to be smoky whiskey. Now the last one, an Ardmore if I remember correctly, was in 2018. So I was led to believe that the Smoking Buffalo series was coming to an end. But then fast forward to 2022, only last year, and Caol Gent, they actually won the Belgian Cup. Now, it was an exciting match. It was a bit of a thriller. It was Caol Gent against Anderlecht, another big team in Belgium. But Anderlecht and Caol Gent, they couldn't decide who was going to win because after 120 minutes of football, it was still 0-0. So a penalty shootout had to decide which team was going to win the cup. You can guess which team won, right? And that's why Bart and Jeroen came up with another Smoking Buffalo, the 11th edition already. And for this one, they went to the Isle of Ila. So they found a beautiful 9-year-old Caol Ila from 2013. And they bottled it in 2022, to commemorate the 2022 Cup Final. Now, this is a single cask. It only yielded 291 bottles, and this is bottled at 54.7% ABV. Now, when you look at this, you might be forgiven to think, ooh, that must have been an Oloroso cask. Or no, it might even be a Pig's Sherry cask. You'd be wrong. This is, in fact, a bourbon barrel. Would you look at that? A bourbon barrel. Quite dark, so probably a heavily charred bourbon barrel indeed. A 9-year-old Caol Ila from 2013 at 54.7% ABV. The Smoking Buffalo 11th edition. Let's give this one a go in honor of my club's Cup Final win. On the nose. Ooh, that's atypical. It's delicious, don't get me wrong, but this is very atypical on spring roll sauce. I kid you not. Oh, but don't worry, the typical maritime notes that typify the DNA of Caol Ila, they are definitely there. I get some kelp, I get some slightly rotting oranges, which is not an off note, mind you. Oh, some wet rocks in there as well. And even a diesel cloud of a fishing boat that's just moored. And the old captain has just turned off the engine of his fishing boat. Wow, it's quite feisty as well. Absolutely beautiful, but it does have that somewhat atypical but rather delicious spring roll sauce character in there. Wow, on the palate. On the palate, it's a true taste feast. My taste buds, they're very happy right now. I get salty versus smoky versus sweet and sour. It's all in there. I get lots of beautiful notes like candied ginger, some powerful oyster sap, some white pepper in there. A good dollop of seawater in there as well. It's quite brackish, but the sweetness of the bourbon cask counters that quite beautifully. I get some apples, some oranges, but it is quite feisty, I have to say. And then it becomes, after it settles, it becomes a bit more classic. It becomes a bit more Caol Ila without the spring roll sauce characteristics in there. A bit atypical, but absolutely delicious on the finish. Oh, that finish. In one word, outstanding. It is long. It is sweet and salty. It's quite brackish towards the end. Sweet and sour. Outstanding. Very long as well. It just keeps giving and giving. And that pepperiness and smokiness remains until the very end. Well, Bart and Jeroen, kudos, my friends, because you have again hand-picked a fantastic single cask, a very atypical, dirty, but giving and giving and giving Caol Ila. And this is a perfect addition to my Smoking Buffalo collection. And I will be coming back to this one quite often, which is why I'm happy that I got me more than just this one bottle. And that's all for this Whisky Rambling from the Gent Temple, the Helamco Arena, where my club won, through a penalty shootout, won the Belgian Cup in 2022. And that's all for this Whisky Rambling, and I hope to see you at one of Mark's Whisky Ramblings real soon. And until then, may the malt be with you. Bye-bye.